And it is 11:46 p.m. and I couldn't quite go to sleep because something caught my attention. And it's a pretty good discovery. Probably have seen it before and I just really didn't connect all the dots in. The numbers kind of seem spread out. I wasn't too sure if there was duplicates or what the hell was going on. But what I did was I was thinking about the blocks. Well, first of all, there's local information. There's all kinds of other information in here. The local information doesn't tell too much. Like I said before, this file alone is a gold mine, and I'm sure there's other files that I haven't even found yet. But anyways, this is the cool part. I'm going to show you this because I imported that. Now what you see there is it's only part of the file. I imagine CON is for containers because you got trailer vans, double stacks. So somewhere in the what the hell did they call that thing? Hang on a second here. I think it was, I don't know if it's part of the top end yard or what. I'm not sure. No, I'm not too sure. I imagine it's got something to do with the container. I don't know if they had a container yard in here that's just not modeled or what. But you can see the tracks go all the way down to 91 here. I do see a track 3, which is interesting. So you got 91, you go all the way up to 71. Now, obviously the whole hump isn't modeled here, and we knew about that. I've seen it before where I've seen current maps that look as though there's about 60 to 70, I think 70 tracks in the hump bowl. So it's interesting, you got this yard here, which is kind of different, like local yards 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if this is the actual numbers or what. You got the Selkirk Auto Terminal. Let me get that part. But just going in here. Now keep in mind, I'll just go back into that one more time. Your hump bowl is basically divided, I believe, to 71 to 79, and then you have 80 to 91, 91 being a slough. So you got 20 tracks available. So keep that in mind for a moment. Most of the trains that I have set up are for the final destinations, which is fine. Makes sense, right? But here's where it gets interesting. When you take the block data and you have them come out, now I haven't even shown what train numbers, but what happens is you have got 66 blocks. So you got about 3 times the amount. So I wouldn't advise necessarily. I mean, there's a few things you could do here, and I thought about this. You could potentially have that yard have 3 possible blocking situations if you really wanted to block it. You don't have to do it that way though, and besides, you're still dealing with about 10 departure yard tracks at some point, so you need places to store them. I wouldn't recommend doing it, but there's no reason why in some cases, like say for example, I know for a fact, I mean, these are gonna, if they're gonna go out on the same train, who cares? But what's interesting is some of these blocks don't go out on the same train, and some of the trains have another block in between that go out on 2 different trains. That's why you get that subsequent train thing that keeps popping up. So it's really kind of interesting how that throws in. Now I haven't gone through all the data yet. Like CSX Virginia, there's a lot of places that you can tie the blocks down a little bit more, and you might be able to have, even if a train goes like, where was the one? I saw it. This is what caught my eye. And I was like, ooh, not Elkhart. Was it NS? No. I can't remember which one it is. Maybe it was Richmond. I don't know which one it was exactly. But there was one of them that had a symbol that went further, and one that didn't go as far away, but it still had a block for that same location. In other words, that both those trains served it. One of them just happened to go a little bit further. You're eliminating the block. You can use the same block for two different trains potentially, which really makes it very interesting. So I might go through this, and if I can get the container, that doesn't matter. We're not doing any of that. That's going to be flat switched or dealt with somewhere. I'm not too sure what yard yet. Maybe I have no idea where to deal with that, quite frankly. But looking at this, I'm seeing a very interesting 66. That's basically all I have to do is find a way. If I can get that down to I mean, even the locals, if I can get it down, I'm not sure, because some of the locals in here, you got Selkirk. I don't know what Selkirk TE is, but I'm looking at some of the ones, if there's any ones that are nearby. NS, no. I know I saw some that are a little more local. Well, Buffalo Frontier is not local, but it's close. Montreal. I know I saw some locals in there, but I don't see it right now. No, it looks like there was no note. Maybe that's the only local there is. I don't know. But there's a lot of potential there, because if you're going on the clock and you're filling up certain hump bowls, that may go out on 3 different trains. In fact, I saw it in some of the... I know I saw it in here. I want to show you guys this, because this was really cool. Let me just go down, and I'll find Selkirk. I'll show you what I mean, because I don't have all the data. I just wanted to get the block numbers first. So when you go into Selkirk, okay, here we go. Now, you'll see that this is repeating a few times. So for example, Frontier Yard, what that means is there's a block for Frontier that's picked up by the train that goes to Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, and Niagara Falls on the various days. Sometimes the days change too. So on one day you might have the one that one goes to Indianapolis, the other one goes to Indianapolis, so whatever, it's the same thing. But those are 2 trains, Niagara Falls, Pittsburgh, and Indianapolis, that would switch Frontier. You got one Delaware and Hudson. I'm not too sure where this train comes into play. There's got to be some kind of Delaware and Hudson interchange that deals with Toronto, CP Toronto. I'm not too sure where that comes out. Albany, Montreal. I don't know where the heck that because it's CP. I don't know if it would come up to St. Lawrence, because that's technically CN or what. But you can see 551 is there again, but I saw something that caught my eye, and I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to find it again, because I was just like, aha. So Kingston, New York, okay. So, no, maybe not Kingston. Kingston's a little bit further away. That's not the one. I wish I could find the one that caught my eye the most out of all of them. See, there's this Selkirk, whatever the heck that is. Those are yard jobs. Schenectady, New York, local. So that one's a local, that's fine. I'm not sure where it is. Was it Worcester? it's containers. There we go. So you got two that are going there. I don't know if we got Boston. No, Boston's on the way. It was an NS one. I think it was NS. Something NS that caught my eye the most. Pittsburgh. I'll find it. Okay, yeah, it is NS. Sorry. Okay. So there's NS Altoona, Bellevue, Ohio, which connects at Niagara Falls. There it is, right there. So you got SENS and SEAL. Okay. Well, that's in the container yard, so maybe that wasn't what I was thinking then. Maybe it's because that's the container that has something to do with. Oh, okay, those are trailer vans. Maybe it wasn't then. I don't know what it was. There was something in there that just totally caught my eye. I was just like, oh, this is interesting. But no, I don't see it. Honda, Ohio. Track 43 might have been it. No, I can't find exactly which one it was. But it seemed as though up to 2 or 3 trains could be using the same one. So there was potential to actually, as you moved along the clock, it would go out on this train, and if it didn't, it went to that subsequent train, and boom, it went out on others. I'm going to look into it and see if I can group it a little bit more. It doesn't have to be a perfect blocking, but just to have something, because I already have at least 3 free tracks. It sounds like I may have more. The locals, that'll be a totally different ball of wax. I may end up having to use the slough track and then just locally switch them and let the switchers do it, since they're going to be doing it anyways. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that one, to be quite honest. And with all the different industries, who knows what? Because when you look at the industries, and this is still a long ways away. We're not anywhere near there. You want to go top down first. But Guilderland. I don't know if there was one for Guilderland or not. I'm not even going to go that way, but Northeast Industrial Park might have had something, but Selkirk Northeast. Or Guilderland, maybe. Guilderland Center. See? So track 77, okay. So this might be part of your locals. I don't know if that's part of it. Guilderland Center? I'd have to take a look at that. It's Guilderland. Guilderland Center, Guilderland Cement. No, I don't think that would be it. Then you got an auto rack yard there too, which there's a lot that still I'm not too sure. You got all kinds of other locals. I'll have to check the various locals that come. Well, you got South Schenectady. That's a pretty safe bet, and I think I saw that in there as well. South Schenectady was in there. Yeah. So again, 73. See? I don't think Worcester you're going to have to worry about being a local, but Guilderland Center, that could be a local. I don't know what TE, top end yards. Oh, I think that's Selkirk top end yard, 97. So you got 17 and 27 various yard jobs that deal in track 97. It's kind of neat when you look at them and then you see the times, and then so there's a lot more data that I can crunch with that, and then it tells you what blocks they're in too on the train. I'm not too sure what these mean. They're mainly trailer vans, so I don't think they have departure times. And there's some multi-levels as well. They probably estimated, which makes me wonder if those departure times are just estimates only, which is really interesting. Might as well be. That would make sense. So, so that must be some through traffic, which is, it's interesting, especially when you got Toledo Stanley. So you got cars going into track 51 in the hump. But they end up getting thrown in like track 31 here, trailer vans and multi-levels. So see, there's that kind of thing. I got to really look into that, because I can't put trailer vans and multi-levels into, and for all I know, that may not be a hump track. I don't know what the hell that is. So it's worth an investigation just to see, because we know we can't do the auto racks. We know the container yard's not part of it. There's other things, so there's a lot more potential here than meets the eye, I think. And if I can spit it into 20 tracks and be able to, start spreading out, like even if they go into the same track for now, I can always possibly block it later. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Anyways, I'm rambling. So I thought I'd share that because I thought that was kind of important. There's a lot of potential there. You got 20 tracks in the hump, and then it's just a matter of divide and conquer. And some of the ones that you may or may not consider important, then you spread it out a little bit. But you just put that into the tags and you add it to it, and if you want to block it later, you can, or whatever. It doesn't really matter at that point. But very interesting indeed. So, anyways, that's it. I'm going to bed. I should have gone to bed earlier, but I couldn't resist trying that. So, have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow.